Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to be going through my 6 favorite clothing brands to sell in the spring/summertime. And then after that, I have a few bags of clothing from my most recent thrifting trips. I went thrifting with a friend yesterday. She has 2 kids and I have 2 kids, so you can imagine how that went. But it was fun overall and I found some great pieces that I wanted to share with you guys. And then I also have one bag from a thrifting trip that was almost a week ago where I went to this thrift store called Calvary Thrift. I believe I talked about it a little bit in my most recent work with me video, so check that out if you haven't. But let's dive into these 6 brands. We'll go through them quickly. I will spell out each brand name to be fully efficient. So first brand is Boden, spelled B-O-D-E-N. I absolutely love Boden. I know some resellers don't like to sell it, but I have a really good time selling their dresses specifically. They're known for their very unique patterns and prints, and I can usually find them not super often, but more often than some other obscure brands, and they usually sell between $30 and $40 for me. That's their dresses at least. I've also sold a few pairs of pants from Boden, a cardigan, and a blouse. The only thing that didn't sell well for me from Boden was a pair of neon green pants. And that's just because neon is very out of style. It is not on trend. I really do not recommend picking up neon anything if you can help it. Maybe if there's like a tiny neon stripe in it or part of it, it's okay, but neon is not it. But yeah, love Boden, highly recommend the brand. I essentially never pass up Boden because although it sells for like bread and butter pricing or a little bit above bread and butter pricing, I feel like it sells within at least a year, which in my opinion, based on how long some of my stuff is taking to sell now, I will take. Second brand is Sino, spelled C-I-N-O. Now, Sino is sold on Sundance's website, and I've sold Sino personally 3 different times, all 3 of those times being women's shirts, and they've sold pretty quickly for about bread and butter pricing, but I love the brand Sino. I think it's one of those not well-known brands that actually sells pretty quickly, and it just depends on the shirt, right? I've had 2 shirts that sold for above $30 and then one that sold for like $23, so I definitely think it depends on the item, but the 2 that sold for 30 plus were like button up, so keep that in mind. But yeah, Sino, I'll pop up a picture, but like the brand tags, all 3 times that I came across Sino clothing pieces was a white square with silver writing. Really love this brand, definitely recommend it, and keep an eye out for it when you're sourcing. Third brand is Old Navy, spelled O-L-D space N-A-V-Y. I recently started going to the gym with my husband. I hate going to the gym usually because I just prefer at-home workouts, but we went to the gym today, and right next to the gym there is a big Old Navy, and I feel like there aren't that many Old Navy locations where I live. But I was thinking, wow, Old Navy is right here, but Old Navy is such a reputable brand. Everyone knows what Old Navy is, right? So they trust Old Navy. And speaking of working out, I actually wore a pair of Old Navy leggings that I got from the Goodwill outlet yesterday to the workout. And they are so comfortable and really flattering. The only downside was that the specific pair of leggings I was wearing didn't have pockets. But Old Navy, as a brand, they're reliable, people know it, people trust it, and so in their more substantial pieces, it can sell really well. So longer length dresses, doesn't really matter the size, plus size is definitely better, but longer length dresses that you can categorize as boho, cottagecore, stuff like that, you can sell for around bread and butter pricing. I have also sold a coat from Old Navy before. Obviously, that's not something good to sell in the spring/summertime, but overall, Old Navy is a really great brand to resell. I also like to sell their jeans if they're a larger size and a really flattering style, especially if they're new with tags. I recently sold a pair of women's Old Navy, I think it was a kick flare pair of dress pants for, I believe, $24, and I got those at the bins, and they were brand new with tags. But it's crazy to think that Old Navy I was able to sell for bread and butter pricing. So definitely don't pass up on that brand if you can find it for cheap enough. I wouldn't be paying up for Old Navy. Fourth brand is Title IX, spelled T-I-T-L-E space N-I-N-E. And Title IX, I absolutely love selling. It sells especially well this time of year because it is an outdoor brand, and this is the time of year when people are hiking or camping and stuff like that. Personally though, it is so freaking hot outside. We had like 2 weeks where it was the perfect temperature. We went from like cold to super hot. It is sweltering outside. But Title IX, I have sold one dress from them and a few pairs of pants and a shirt. It's just a very good brand. Their more substantial pieces will go for more money. But the one category that I haven't been able to sell very well in Title IX is the jackets. But both of those jackets that I have listed are older styles. So I think the newer the style in not just Title IX, but different brands, especially brands that are in the season they're in. So if we're in spring and people are looking for spring pieces, they're probably looking for pieces that are within like 10 or even like 5 years or newer. Title IX, I love it. It's a great, reliable brand, and I feel like you can come across it pretty commonly, pretty often. Their logo is 9 dots, but you can't get that confused because there is apartment 9, which I believe is like 3 dots. All right, next brand is Fresh Produce, spelled Fresh space Produce. Now, I don't find fresh produce very often, but every time I do, it sells very, very quickly for me. It's a very niche brand. People that look for this brand on the secondhand market, they know what they want, they know what they're looking for, and so if you have a quality listing, they're probably going to buy it from you if the item is also in good condition. I sold a few pieces from Fresh Produce. I have sold a dress and I've sold a shirt, and I just really recommend the brand Fresh Produce because it's kind of like a beachy resort wear brand, but also kind of hippie vibes, and I've had really good luck with it this time of year. And I've sold 2 pieces, I think, this spring/summer season. And then last brand is Merrell, spelled Merrell. Now, Merrell is a shoe brand. I actually am not sure if they make clothing, but I 100% know for sure that they sell shoes. I think that's what they're known for. I'm pretty sure they only sell shoes, but Merrell is kind of like Keen and like Columbia sportswear and stuff like that. What sets Merrell apart, I think, is that it's like the top tier brand. Like, it beats Keen and all those other brands. I haven't sold Keen very well this season. It has sold for me, but that was after sitting for a long time. So maybe Keen is very niche and it only sells in the spring and summer. But Merrell, I have noticed, sells all year round pretty well, but especially well in this season. I have sold boots from Merrell. I have sold sneakers and also like high top sneakers, but I really love the brand Merrell. I find it all the time and it is a good seller for me. I can sell it for around $30 to $40, sometimes under $30, but oftentimes I find Merrell at the bins. So it is just one of those brands that I absolutely love to sell, and I come across it fairly often, yet it still is a pretty desirable brand. Anyway, with all those brands out of the way, let's get into this haul. I just wanted to make that a quick part of my video because I was wanting to make a video specifically where I talked about my 6 favorite brands to sell in the spring/summertime. But then I thought that video is going to be really short and I'm not sure if people will be interested in it, so I just thought I would include it in today's video. But let's start with the bag from Calvary Thrift. I did buy a few pairs of shoes from Calvary Thrift, but I already took photos of those 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday, and listed those, and they're already put away. But I do have a bag of clothing as well. So, as I was talking about, you guys, Old Navy. This is a really pretty dress with a really pretty colorway. The brand is Old Navy. Again, the camera is behind the lights, so you might not be able to see that, but it is a size 3X. They charge $7, which was kind of a lot. I don't like to spend more than $6 on an Old Navy piece. But this was new with tags. Looks like it was clearance down to $19.99, originally $40. I'm gonna try to list mine for around $32. It is a mini dress, but it is smocked in the back and it kind of has like these ruched sleeves. It is very pretty, and it is also, does that have a tier? Yeah, it has 1 tier, so I could put tiered. It's very pretty, very girly, summery, beachy, vacation-y, and so I had to get that. I could not pass that up. And I am a sucker for new with tags anything, although Loft has done me dirty. The clothing brand Loft, I have picked up a few things from Loft and they just don't sell for me. And I have this one black linen blend, brand new with tags, jumpsuit from, or romper from Loft, and it has like no attention, and I've dropped the price significantly. So Loft, even new with tags, is a no-no for me, but in most of their brands, I have a really hard time saying no to new with tags pieces if I know the brand. and it's for a cheap price. So this is just from the brand Chico's. This is the Ultimate Tee, and this is a size 4, so that should be equivalent, I believe, to a size 20. And it is a cotton modal blend, and it's this very pretty white and blue color, very beachy, very coastal. I can put keywords like that, and I paid $3. For a second I thought it said 8. I was like, I paid $8 for this? No, but I paid 3. So nice little bread and butter piece there. Recently, I have been selling a lot of things on eBay, but for really low prices, like under $20, sometimes even less than $15. But I'm just trying to keep a steady stream of sales going, even if they're lower dollar. So this was a completely style-based pickup. So I might regret that, but this is from the brand C&V, Chelsea and Violet. It's a red tag. I don't think I've ever come across this brand before. I paid, let's see, I paid $5 for this. And this just gave me very Free People vibes. I thought it was very pretty. It is a baby doll style, and then it is orange, and then it has these like bell sleeves with this crochet detailing. And I just thought this shirt was so beautiful. It actually might be a dress, but I might list it as a tunic because only a very short woman would be able to wear this, but it's kind of like a gauzy material. It's very cute, very fun for festival. Although on camera, this is coming across very like bright orange, where in reality it's more of like a softer muted orange. So that's going to be hard to take photos of, but that's okay. I did spend some significant time in the men's area this day. I don't know why. I just was like, you know what? I'm going to branch out into the men's section because I would like to sell more men's clothing, because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like the game is hot for men's clothing on the secondhand market. Sorry, I keep checking the time because I have this fear that I'm not recording. And so my OCD makes me like think, am I recording? Am I recording, right? I have to keep checking, but I usually try not to actually look and just brush past those fears. So I also paid $5 for this. This is from TravisMathew, which is a pretty oversaturated brand on the secondhand market now. But this was a size 2XL, and I loved the print. It's gray striped with 2 different shades of gray, but it also kind of has like these tropical details cut out in the gray area. So I thought I could sell that for around $25. Now at Calvary Thrift, they had this area where they have dollar bins. Everything in there is $1. And usually I can find some pretty good stuff, but this day I didn't find anything. But I did find this for my daughter. It is a Baby Gap size 4 years, and it's this really pretty pink and white shirt, but it's kind of like a terry cloth towel material. And so I think this would be really nice to wear over a swimsuit, just so, you know, she has like a swimsuit cover up when we are in transition, going to the pool, right? Or driving to the pool or the splash pad or whatever. And she can have, you know, something to cover up with. This next piece I paid $5 for. That seems to be the basic price for men's clothing here. This is from the brand Piranha, which I've actually been selling really well. That's another brand I should have put, but I don't like it as much as those other 6 brands, but this brand can sell pretty well in the spring/summer. And it's just this nice men's button-down shirt. I don't think I'll get more than like 20, maybe 25 is pushing it, but I do want to experiment more with men's clothing, and I really want to start doing Whatnot because I feel like I'm a pretty good, engaging person. The only problem is my time in the day is very limited because I'm a mom to 2 young daughters, and so doing a Whatnot show during the day isn't very plausible for me unless I would only do it on the weekends. But I would just love to do Whatnot. I think it would be really fun and a new way to try to make more money, especially because I feel like summer slowdown is kind of starting to hit me a little bit. Anyway, moving on, we have this belt, which is unbranded, but it looked and feels like quality, and it is braided. It has these loops. There is a little bit of corrosion, is that what it's called? Where like the bronze turns blue, but I could not pass this up. I thought this belt was so cute, giving retro rodeo vibes. I'm also noticing some stitching coming undone right there. Whoops. Well, I wasn't going to list this for much anyway. I think that the belts were only $1, so even if I got 15 to 20 for that, I would be okay with that. All right, next brand, or next piece, is from the brand Zara Basic. And I do pick up Zara sometimes. I paid $6 for this. This is a blazer from Zara. Actually, no, it's not a blazer. It's more like a jacket because it doesn't have a collar. But it is linen blend, which is perfect for this time of year. Very Logan look, very beachy, coastal. Where is the material tag? I know I specifically checked to make sure. Okay, it's right here. It's all like shriveled up. Okay, so it's made of linen and viscose and cotton. So nice piece, and I just didn't want to pass up on that button-up Zara jacket. Next piece, sorry, I keep fidgeting because my legs went numb, so I had to straighten them again, but now we're going back to crisscross applesauce. This is another Travis Matthew in a large size 2. They were probably donated by the same person, although that one was 2XL and this one is 3XL, but they seem to be from like the same line. This one is blue with some stripes. It's a size 3XL, which is really good, and I paid $4.50. So this one was 50 cents cheaper than all the other ones, and it probably has the best sell-through rate, sorry, I gotta fold it again, and desirability because, oh wait a minute, I just noticed. Oh no, it has this custom embroidery. I might be able to get that off though. Shoot, I can't believe I said, I didn't see that. That is probably why it was marked down. So I'll just have to either try to get that out or sell it as is. Next shirt is for my husband. This is Old Navy. This is a size medium. It's the everyday shirt, regular fit. I paid $4. It's just, I think it's light gray, maybe a slight light blue, but it is button up, and I just thought it would be a nice piece for my husband. I'm always looking for my family when I'm out thrifting. This is also a pair of jeans for my husband. The brand is Skinny Collection. I don't know. They're a size 32 though, and they looked to be his length. Oftentimes I'll go thrifting and I'll find a pair of pants that will fit my husband waist-wise, but not length-wise. Like he needs a 30 length, not a 32 or 34. And I held these up to my legs because we basically have like the same measurements. Like I wear a size small women's or small medium, and he wears like a size small medium men's, which I know is different, but I'm a good way to compare if something will fit him. So hopefully those work out. They were $5. Next piece is from the brand Chico's, and I was hoping this had like linen or silk in it, but it is 100% polyester, size 2, which is a little bit smaller of a size. I paid $6, but I just thought this dress was really fun. Look at that print. It's so artsy, so like foresty, whimsy goth. It is like a midi to maxi length, and it's very flowy. So I thought I would get that. And then I found a Free People dress. I think I actually wanted to make a short on my YouTube channel about this, but I paid $7 for this dress. But this Free People tag, I wonder if it's older. I don't think there are any knockoff Free Peoples, but that definitely says Free People. It is this maxi length floral dress. It is also a baby doll cut right there, and it's very pretty. So I think it might just be an older style, or maybe it is more recent, but with a different tag. But I don't know. I've never come across that Free People tag before. All right, last thing from Calvary Thrift, and then we'll move on to the thrift stores, or the stuff I got from thrift stores yesterday. We have this Tommy Bahama. And I like swore off Tommy Bahama because I sold a men's silk blend shirt for only $15, and I paid like $6 or $7 for it. But this, I could not pass up. It's not buttoned up, so you can't see it very well, but I believe it's 100% linen. Either that or a linen blend. Let's see. Okay, so it's linen and polyester blend, but it's mostly linen. And it is this white and gray gingham, and then it has this tropical little detail on the side. I think that's gonna do really well. And I paid $8. That was my only, I remember now, I was at the thrift and I was like, it's $8, but I think I can get like 30 to 35 maybe for this because it is linen, it's a very novelty print, and I just think it's a really nice piece. All right, looks like this bag is from the first thrift store. I just realized there's this knife, which I did get, but looks like she put like a piece of tape on it so it didn't cut anyone. Anyway, I have been keeping an eye out for Cutco knives because I know that those can resell well. This is from the brand Henckels, Henckels. C-K-E-L-S. Kind of reminds me of the word nickels. And I just saw that this was stainless steel, made in India. It looked very nice. And I'm not sure on the specific cut of this knife, but it is in really good pre-owned condition. And I am going to see if I can sell this for around $25 because that's what comps looked like, and I only paid 99 cents. So I like trying out home goods that I can resell. Next piece is a style-based pickup. This is from the brand Indigo Soul. It's a size 2XL. And I believe that these were $4 each. There's no price tags, but I just thought this shirt was so beautiful. It has peacock detailing. It has rhinestones all over the neckline. It is long sleeve. Okay, looks like I paid $3.99. But yeah, I thought that was gorgeous, so I was like, that's coming home with me. And then we have an Athleta piece, which I've also sworn off Athleta, but this is a newer piece, and I could just tell, and it's a size 1X. So 1X, kind of a baby pastel pink with these like ruched sleeves, and I paid, let's see, how much did I pay for this one? $2.99, so that's pretty good. The best pricing for Athleta I've seen in a while. And let's see, I believe I saw that this was from 2022. Yeah, holiday 2022. Newer piece, bigger size. I wanted to get that, and it was a really cheap, like I said. Next piece, I love this one. I feel like I never find vintage stuff. This is vintage Looney Tunes though, and it has a paper tag, and this is like a crew neck pullover. It has a T with embroidered Tweety bird, and it says Tweety, and I think this is so fun, and I paid only $4.99. I for sure thought this was going to be priced up because there were a few like specific brands that were priced up, but this one wasn't, so I was really shocked by that. And it looks to be in really good condition, like it was just sitting in someone's closet before they decided to donate it. Two more things in this bag. We have this gorgeous Chico's piece as well. Kind of reminds me of the same, kind of gives the same vibes as that dress. This is a size 2, and look at this. It is this cardigan. It's so pretty. I love it. It's watercolory, beautiful, and I think I paid pretty cheap for this. Yeah, $3.99. The prices at the thrift store were really good, other than a few pieces, like I said, that were randomly marked up. Now this is from the brand Logo, which is Lori Goldstein, which does really well in the plus sizes. This is a size 3X, which I've never found in this brand before. This is kind of not in the season, but it is long sleeve and it is buttoned down. It could be like a cardigan or a shirt. It has pockets, and I just thought that that would do really well. All right, I'm gonna readjust again. The second thrift store we went to yesterday, I went there earlier than my friend because she had to take her son to a doctor's appointment real quick. And this thrift store was so cool. It was laid out like a regular retail store, so it was kind of confusing, but it was definitely a thrift store. And I was like, man, I wish this was closer to me because my friend lives like 45-ish minutes away from me. So we did get some puzzles at the first thrift store, 99 cents. This is a Noah's Ark puzzle. And then this is the USA floor puzzle, and it's 51 jumbo pieces. So that's cool. And then, oh yeah, I got one pair of shoes. The entirety of thrifting yesterday, although there was good clothing at the second thrift store, there was no good shoes, like nada. And that was really interesting to me. So the last pair of Vince Camuto loafers I bought to resell sold for $10. But these give a very classic look. I feel like this style is very trendy right now. I paid $6.99. They have this gold detail, very, very slender, very nice. I do think that these will do well just because of the style. Maybe I'll have like a photo of me wearing them in the main photo, but they're really nice. I thought they were really nice. This dress is, what's the brand? The brand is JG Hook. Don't know anything about this brand. The reason I got it was because it's 100% linen, $6. Tell me this is not the most beautiful linen dress you've ever seen. I mean, it is so colorful, artsy. It is a wrap dress style, midi length, 100% linen. I feel like this is going to fly out of my store. Although I thought that about this 100% linen vintage green dress I have for sale, and that has not been moving, unfortunately. So I could be totally wrong, but that was screaming to me like, you need to buy that and you need to resell that because that's going to resell really well. Oh, and this piece is actually for myself. I realized after I bought it, I was like, wait, this isn't even my size. It's a size extra large, but I fell in love with this because it is 4th of July embroidered. We got like was there Uncle Sam on that side? Oh, no, just like Uncle Sam's hat, and then the eagle, which I think, is that the bird of America? I don't know. And then, but the sleeves are like stained. They're just like kind of yellowing and whitish. So I was thinking that I might just like cut off the sleeves and then wear like a white short sleeve shirt under, and that would be kind of my look for the 4th of July. But I could not pass that piece up. I have been saving like listings from Poshmark that are vintage 4th of July embroidered shirts and sweaters, and what do you know, I find my own one at the thrift store. So this is Torrid, and unfortunately I haven't had much luck selling swimsuits this year. I've only sold one, and that was a Speedo swimsuit that I bought for myself and I ended up selling resale, and I didn't even intend for that to happen. But all the ones I did intend and thrifted to resell haven't been selling, but I have a good feeling about this one, so hopefully this one sells before we get out of the summer season where people are buying swimsuits. I mean, technically swimsuits can sell all year long, but I feel like they don't. So this is a size 2, which means size 2X, and I thought they were going to charge me a lot for this, but they only charged $3. It is a swimsuit dress. Beautiful, fun colorway. It has built-in padding, and I just feel like this is going to sell really well. It is super fun and pretty. And then there were a few quality bras I was able to find. This bra is from Torrid. It's a size 36C. It is lacy and it is padded. Just nice standard bra, and all their bras were $2.50, so not too bad. And then we have this bra. This one is a red bra with some lace detailing and a little bow. And this one is pink Victoria's Secret. I only got it because it was a pretty big size. It's a 38 double D, and it's in really good condition. Like, honestly, I never find bras in this good condition at the Goodwill outlet. Next two things we got are a Patagonia sweater. And I noticed at the end this R on the sleeve just before I bought it, but I thought, is that supposed to be there? If not, I don't think it's going to deter people from buying. This is a size small. It's like this burnt red color, little pullover, and I think this will do well. I paid $5 for that. And then, you guys, I sold this dress like a month ago. This is just from Columbia Sportswear, but it's this really pretty purple mini dress. I sold it in this exact same color. I don't think it was the exact same size. I think it was a little bit smaller of a size. It only sold for $20 and I paid $7. This I paid $6 for, and I'm gonna try to list it for around $28, but I already have the listing in my orders, and so it's gonna be really, really easy to relist. So I was so tempted, I just had to buy it because I thought it was so funny that I found the exact same sweaters again. All right, last bag before the end of this haul. I am in my pajamas, actually. I'm wearing this 4th of July shirt, which I bought for my husband a couple years ago to wear on the 4th of July. And it has now become his pajama shirt, and our washing machine broke, like I talked about in my last video, which was a work with me video. And so, like, we've been wearing the clothing that we've got, right? Because we have a mountain of clothing, dirty laundry in our closet. I was gonna say dressing room. Like, oh, we have a dressing room in our house, but we got our new washing machine installed today. So I'm gonna start being able to actually wear, like, put together outfits and not just scrounge up whatever I can that's clean. Moving back to the clothing, we have this J. Crew. This looked like a newer style just because of the font of the J. Crew. This is a cotton linen blend, if you guys can see that. And it is this really nice brown color. I feel like brown is a really nice trending color. It's this night knit piece, very beachy. So I did get that one. I don't know how much I spent on that. I think it was $6. And then this is J. Jill. I definitely want to steam some of these pieces. They weren't wrinkly when they weren't in the bag, before they went in the bag, but now they are. And I just bought a steamer, so I should start actually steaming stuff. But this is 100% Pima cotton, size medium tall. It is the Pima dipped hem tunic, so I'm guessing it's a more recent style because it has a style name. It's this beautiful brown color. I think this is gonna do really well. And it was $6, but I think it's gonna do well. I have a really good feeling about that one. Next piece is, what do you know, Bowden! And I was so excited to find Bowden. I was hoping it was silk. I think it's just rayon, but Bowden, size 8. And it's this really pretty blouse, so fun. I mean, look at that pattern. That's what I love about Bowden. They just have the funnest patterns. And I looked really closely at the pits because with patterns like this, they can hide pit stains, but I don't think that there are any pit stains. And I looked for a while. Oh yeah, this piece was not wrinkled before, now it is. This is Peruvian Connection, size extra large. I've never seen a tag like that from Peruvian Connection. I feel like Peruvian Connection has a lot of tags. I come across a lot of different tags. And where is the material tag? It feels like Pima cotton. Yeah, 100% Pima cotton. Nice little orange. I'm gonna list that for around $30, but more conservatively, I'll probably sell it for like $25. And then last piece, this was the very last piece that I actually found thrifting that day. So kind of funny we're ending with this piece, but I basically looked through this entire thrift store, which is massive by the way, and I was running late because I needed to make it home for a gym appointment because we have to make an appointment with the daycare or the kids club. And so you have to like assign a time and then schedule that time and then work out at that time so they can watch your kids, or there's no one else to watch your kids. So I was rushing because I still had a long drive, but I looked in this one section and I really wanted to just look because I hadn't looked in that section and I knew I probably wasn't coming back to this thrift store for a while. But this is Anthropologie Pilcrow, and I know it's a newer style because it just says Pilcrow and not Pilcrow and the letterpress, because Pilcrow and the letterpress used to be what Pilcrow is called. Now that it's just shortened to Pilcrow. These are a size 28. I paid $8. This is the boutique section, looks like. These are nice laminated tags, which I'm impressed that they did that. Actually, I think they just put tape on them. So it's like a faux, it's a faux lamination, but that's a lot of work for disposable clothing. But look at these. These are corduroy. They're cream. Definitely look cropped, button fly, and they have this really nice whimsical print. I think these are gonna do well. And I love them. I think they're really cute. I think they're gonna do well. And they are my size, so I could try them on, but they're not really my style. This is more like, I wish I could come up with like a modern vintage look. Really cute. But that is everything for today's haul video. I am, let's see, what's the time? It is 11:26, which may seem late to you, but I stay up really, really late every night. It's not good, but as you guys know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I do my reselling work once my daughters are in bed, usually. And so that's also my time where I make my YouTube videos and stuff. So I might list, or I might take photos of a few things, but I also have a mountain of dirty stuff that I need to wash that is my reselling clothing. But we need to catch up on our actual clothing to wear before I can get through that mound of dirty clothing that I bought to resell. A lot of the stuff is black clothing items that I got from the Goodwill outlet that are just dusty and dirty and need a wash. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.